Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Astros beat the Tampa Bay Rays in the series opener 6-1, as this is a big win for the Astros. Open up this series, getting a win, and get your sixth win in a row, and this is a pretty decent winning streak for the Astros, one of their longest winning streaks all year. This is like their third highest winning streak, third or fourth highest winning streak of the year, and they scored 6 runs for the 6-game winning streak, winning 6-1. The pitching was phenomenal. Fromber was great out there today. Only had 1 earned run, which if we could give earned runs to position players, that earned run would go to Pedro Leon for making a rookie mistake. Although it is really hard to see the ball, at Tropicana Field where Tampa Bay plays, so I'm gonna cut Pedro Leon some slack there, but that triple, which was by Taylor Walls, the shortstop, led to a earned run for Framber Valdez. The Astros got to win, and I know that's what Framber cares about. I don't think this is something Framber would be too concerned about. I remember last week, almost a week ago, when Framber, did not get a no-hitter and gave up a 2-run home run. What he said afterwards is that he was happy that the team won, and that's what he cares about. Framber, as long as the team won, he doesn't care. So I'm sure he's not happy about that situation, but the team won. I think that's all that Framber cares about. But Framber looked great today. The offense looked good. Got off to a great start. As the game went on, this was one of those games as the Astros had a pretty sizable lead. The offense kind of calmed down a little bit. But I honestly really think this is the best we've seen this team as a team. I'm not saying just the offense. I'm not saying just the pitching. The whole general team for a stretch of 6 games or a stretch of 5 games. This team recently, in this 6-game winning streak, as a team, have been all dominant. I mean, the Astros have had their points this year where they're winning some ball games because the pitching is doing a great job and the offense is doing some good things, but not amazing. And they've had their points where, they're winning some games because the pitching is all right and, the hitting is amazing. There have been many points this season where I feel like the pitching hasn't been great, but the hitting has been so good that the Astros are winning some ball games, vice versa. But I don't think there have been there have been a couple stretches for a couple games, maybe you could say 2, 3, 4 games. I don't know about six games where both the offense and the pitching are both killing it the way they have in these last 6 games. I'm going to go over some numbers here. The Astros in their last 6 games have hit 63 hits. I don't think the Astros have had that many hits in a span of 6 games this year. That is averaging 11 hits a game for a total of 6 games. Now I'll go to runs. 39 runs scored in the last 6 games. That's averaging almost 7 runs per game this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they've averaged that in a 6-game span. Maybe they haven't, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if that is true. And then that is the point with the offense. Let's go to the pitching now. In their last 6 games, the pitching, everybody, not just starting pitching, bullpen as well, for the full 9 innings, the Astros team ERA in the last 9 games is sorry, I was thinking about innings, not 9 games. In the last 6 games, in 9-inning games, no extra innings, the Astros team ERA is 2.83 in their last 6 games. So that's amazing as well. So this Astros team, it's not just the hitters. The hitters are doing a great job, but the pitching as well have been absolutely phenomenal in these last 6 games. And I really think as a whole general team, this is the best we've seen them this year. I think you could say we've seen the hitting maybe in some categories a little bit better. I don't think the hits though. I mean, I think with the hits, I don't think we've seen them average 11 hits per game for a span of 6 games this year. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think that's been incredible. And with the runs, I don't know if there's been a point this season for 6 games where the Astros are averaging 7 runs per game, but I know that has, been one of the high. That has to be one of the highest this year for the Astros. But team ERA for 2.83 for a total of 6 games, while also the offense is doing that well. I think it's the best we've seen the Astros play as a team this season for just a stretch of 6 games where they've won every single game. So I'm really happy with the way the Astros are playing right now. I want to go over this game a little bit. 6-1 is the final score. 10 hits for the Astros, 4 for the Rays, 0 errors in the ballgame. Framber, unfortunately, was not able to go full 6 innings. He still gets the win, though. He's 12-5. I don't know how many people knew this, but this was Framber's first time playing in Tampa Bay. He went 5 2/3, only had 3 hits, only 1 run, which was really Pedro Leon's fault, which is okay. It's a rookie mistake. He had 9 strikeouts, and he gave up 1 walk. I think in that almost no-hitter for Framber last week, I think he gave up like 2 or 3 walks. You're only giving up 1 hit. That's not too bad in almost 9 innings. But even better in this outing, even though he didn't pitch as long. Loss goes to Taj Bradley. He really struggled in this outing, and this is now 3 outings in a row for Taj Bradley where he's struggling. The 2 games before this, he gave up 4 and 5 earned runs. This outing, he gets 6. So I don't know who he'll pitch against next, but maybe he'll give up 7 in his next earned run. That's the way it's been going. Second last outing, gave up 4 earned runs. Then his last outing before this outing gave up 5 runs, and then tonight 6. I don't know who he's going to face, but either he'll have a really good bounce back outing in his next one, or maybe we'll see 7 earned runs. I know he's not playing the Astros, but that'd be a great sign. But yeah, he also had 6 strikeouts, which in only 4 1/3, that's not terrible. But at the same time, all of his other stats were terrible. And he gave up 2 walks, which against the Astros team, not terrible. But let's go over the scoring summary. Alex Bregman hit a home run in the first inning. He's been on fire. That was really the only thing that Bregman did in this game was to hit that first inning home run. Love to see it for Breggy, not complaining. But that was it for Breggy today. But that got this Astros team, I think, on the right track to start off this game, right energy. That made it 1-0, 356 feet. Bregman's always crushed it in Tampa Bay, and I said that going into this series. Not only has the Astros offense always killed it in Tampa Bay as a team, but Bregman in general as well. Then in the third inning, big inning for the Astros, 4-run third inning. Yordan Alvarez starts it off with a single to center that scored McCormick and Altuve to third. If you want to go all the way back, McCormick got a walk. Altuve was able to get a single. Then Yordan Alvarez hit an RBI single to make it 2-0. And then here comes Yainer Diaz, home run to left center, 408 feet. Altuve and Alvarez scores, and it's 5-0. That has to be a really tough moment for Taj Bradley because just want to go over what was happening before this because he faces the 9-hitter Chas McCormick and he gives up the walk, and then he goes to the leadoff hitter and he gives up Chas McCormick was the 8-hitter, and then he gets after getting his first out, then he gets to the leadoff hitter and gives up the single. And then the guy that just hits a home run off him in a couple innings prior to that, Alex Bregman, is up with 2 runners on with 1 out. That has to be a very crucial moment as a pitcher. And Taj Bradley's able to get a strikeout on Bregman. And with 2 outs, I'm sure he was feeling better with 2 outs, run on first and second. I know as an Astros fan, I wasn't feeling good because the Astros have this year have been a little bit weak with 2 outs and runners on base. And I'm sure that maybe made him feel a little bit better as well. And I know that hasn't really been the case a little bit in these last couple games with 2 outs and being able to score some runs. But he faces Yordan Alvarez and Yainer Diaz. Yordan gets a single, which wasn't even that big of a hit by Yordan. It was really just a routine ground ball. But the Rays infield was all messed up. And it was able to get through to the outfield, and the Astros scored a run. And that bought the Astros another at bat, which led to Yainer Diaz home run. That's really tough. I mean, when you get a batter like Bregman down, and and then you have to face Jordan Alvarez and Yainer Diaz with 2 outs. That's a tough lineup. And what made me think after all of this happened, could you imagine when the Astros get Tucker back and you have him in the mix, and you had him somewhere in the top 5 of this lineup, either in between, before or after Jordan Alvarez and Yainer Diaz? It's going to be dangerous. But yeah, Yainer Diaz hit that 3-run home run in the 3rd inning, 408 feet that scored Altuve and Alvarez, made it 5-0. The Rays hit knocked in their first run with a sacrifice fly that scored Walls in the 3rd inning, made it 5-1. And again, that's all because Pedro Leon. It's totally fine though. And then the Astros scored their last one when Jake Myers grounded into fielder's choice at second. Alvarez scored, Singleton at second, Pena to third, and Jake Myers gets the RBI. So that was it for scoring in this game. Altuve went 2 for 5 today, scored 1 run. 3rd inning, single to left. McCormick to second, single to right in the 4th. This is the Altuve I know against the Tampa Bay Rays. Last series against the Tampa Bay Rays in Houston, going into that series, Jose Altuve in his career in like 60 games had 9 more hits than games played against the Rays, a 294 batting average with like 12 home runs in 60 games, and absolutely has been a Tampa Bay Ray killer, including in the playoffs. But in this series against the Rays, he was absolutely terrible. He finished going in the 3 games like 1 for 9 or 1 for 10, something like that, with a couple walks. Absolutely terrible. This is Altuve against the Tampa Bay Rays that I know. Alex Bregman went 1 for 5 in this game. He had a home run. His last 4 at-bats, they were able to get to him. Had a couple strikeouts, had a couple flyouts. That's okay for Breggy. He got the run started today. Jordan Alvarez went 2 for 5. He got halfway through a cycle with a single to center that scored McCormick. And Altuve got to third, and that led to Yainer Diaz home run. So Jordan Alvarez paved the way for 3 more runs for the Astros. And then he hit a double to right in the 5th inning. He scored 2 runs in this game with an RBI. Yainer Diaz, just like Bregman, his only at-bat where he did something was his 3-run home run. His other at-bats, he struck out, lined out, and grounded out. So 1 for 4 for Yainer Diaz. Another 2-hit day for Jeremy Pena, and he reached base 3 times. He was hit by pitch in the 3rd inning, which it didn't get him. It got him in the lower legs, not that bad at all. Then he reached on an infield single to second in the 5th, and then Alvarez to third. In the 7th inning, he reached on an infield single to first. So Jeremy Pena showing off his speed today. John Singleton went 1 for 3. Good to see him in the lineup. He looked good. 3rd inning single to center, Pena to third. 5th inning walk that got Pena to second. So not bad from John. Jake Myers went 1 for 4. He does his usual, striking out in the 2nd inning. He grounded into a fielder's choice that did give the Astros a run, so I'll give Jake Myers that in the 5th inning. And then he had a single to center in the 8th. So a solid casual day by Jake Myers. Chas McCormick went 0 for 3. I'll give Chas props that he was the starter for that 3rd inning where the Astros scored 4 runs. That's the only credit he's going to get in this game from me. Not a fan of what Chas has been doing recently. His batting average is all the way down to 201 now. It's taken quite a fall. But I will say, give him props that he did start that 3rd inning right there, which led to 4 runs. But the big props go to Yainer Diaz and Jordan Alvarez. Pedro Leon went 0 for 4 in this game, costed the Astros a shutout. So I'll try to make that the last time I bring that up. He struck out twice, grounded into a double play in the 8th, and lined out in the 3rd. All right, Framber Valdez pitched 5 2/3, already went over him, but Taylor Scott was in relief for him. He pitched out last out of the 6th inning and then pitched the 7th inning. He gave it 1 hit, but 2 strikeouts. Caleb Bourt, oh my God, does he continue to look amazing. 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, gives up no hits, no runs, no walks. His ERA with the team now in like 7 or 8 games is all the way down to 0.90. Man, is he another big find. Taylor Scott, who has a 1.77 ERA, and now Caleb Bourt with a 0.90 ERA. Some great finds by the Astros, which Astros fans might hate to say this, but Dana Brown played a part in the Caleb Bourt edition. I don't know if you can say he played a part in the Taylor Scott edition as well. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros getting the win 6-1 in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.